PM urges investors to do business in St. Thomas, assures that the parish is safe. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has sought to assure that St. Thomas is a relatively safe parish for investors to do business. He made this statement at a stakeholders meeting in Morant Bay. Several new developments are taking place in St. Thomas, including housing. The government has also noted plans to transform the parish into a tourism destination. Mr. Holness said St. Thomas is an ideal parish for community-based tourism. The Prime Minister also encouraged residents to become involved in the transformation of the parish. 34 killed in 31 fatal crashes in October. The Island Traffic Authority (ITA) is reporting that 34 road users were killed in 31 fatal crashes during the month of October. The ITA said this is the same number of fatalities that were recorded in October 2023. It said fatalities as at the end of October 2024 were projected to decrease by 9% when compared with 2023. According to the latest statistics released this week by the ITA, motorcyclists accounted for 34% of the road users killed in October 2024. Private motor vehicle drivers accounted for 21%, private motor vehicle passengers accounted for 18%, and pedestrians accounted for 9%. The group classified as most vulnerable road users, pedestrians, pedal cyclists, motorcyclists, and pillion riders, accounted for 53% combined of all the fatalities recorded during the month. Overall, passengers accounted for 26% of those killed. The ITA also reported that males accounted for 88% of the fatalities, while females accounting for 12%. It said that the parish of Westmoreland recorded 21% of all road deaths during the period, followed by St. Catherine with 18%. Taxi operators expressed mixed reactions to TA's announcements about officials authorized to seize motor vehicles. There have been mixed response from the taxi operators on Tuesday based on the announcement by the Transport Authority about officials authorized to seize motor vehicles. The authority says effective immediately, vehicle seizures will be authorized by an area supervisor. The supervisor will make a determination on seizure based on the evidence of offense as presented by the authority's inspector and constable who has the power under law to seize a vehicle. The guideline is similar to one issued recently by the Police High Command that a senior ranking inspector should authorize the seizure of a vehicle. Some operators welcome the announcement, while others express concern that taxi drivers, especially those who operate package carriage, will be targeted and their cars seized arbitrarily. Speaking during last evening's virtual meeting of the Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services Stance, President Hector Newman applauded the decision, but also raised concern about the seizure of an operator's tool of trade. He called for a review of the overall vehicle seizure system. The operators want the Transport Authority to provide clarity on these directives.
I want to say, members, that is telling us that something is not right with the seizure of one's tool of trade. Because if within weeks both institutions can come out and say something, and we know from 2010 the then Prime Minister of Jamaica, Mr. Golden, said, no way. I said the tool of trade should not be seized, except for I think it's 3 particular reasons, which I can't mention just now. And we recall the giant of a minister in the person of Mr. Montague went out on a limb by himself to damn officers who are corrupting the system by seizing and wrecking vehicles. And he said we should have none of it. Now the agencies are now coming out to say, listen, let's make some changes. I am now calling for a holistic review of the wrecking of one's tool of trade, the seizing of one vehicle, whether it's by an inspector, commissioner, whosoever in the transport authority, the member, the managing director. Now we need a holistic review. Why can't we be ticketed straight across the board? And except for, I think there are 3 reasons why your vehicle should be seized. But apart from that, and those should be made public, those reasons why your vehicle should be seized. I saw where the MD put abroad a number, about 5 different things. But I'm saying now that we need a national review of the seizure of vehicles. I heard somebody say effective immediately. And I was wondering, Hackney carriage who fly in certain areas, like Kenroy, could be in serious trouble, right? With the wrecking of seasonal vehicles. So I think balloting is important. All right.
Mr. Newman,
Yeah.
I think the authority need to be clear on this, and clarify, Mr. Newman.
Yes.
Because you have routes that Hackney Church operate on, and they operate as route, but that route is not regularized by the Transport Authority. It is not listed as a route by the Transport Authority. But this document is saying that if the carriage is operating as such, it will be seized. A
Mm-hmm.
majority of the Hackney carriage in the KNTR are shuckle. So me not understand. Me not understand this. This don't make sense.
Voss wants Holness to take emergency action on roads. One government member of Parliament MP is urging the Prime Minister Andrew Holness to consider enacting emergency measures to the repair of the country's roads while have some fallen into disrepair. The MP for Port and Western Cabinet Minister Darrell Valls made the pitch to the Prime Minister during Tuesday's sitting in the House of Representatives, where the poor state of the nation's pothole-riddled roads and what is being done to fix them took over center stage. Voss made the appeal shortly after Holness announced that the much-touted $45 billion Shared Prosperity through Accelerated Improvement Spark program will get underway by the second week of December. The Prime Minister also announced that $1.38 billion was allocated for annual constitutional-based mitigation and cleanup program previously called the Christmas Work Program. It works out at $22 million per constituency, with a minimum of $10 million of the amount set aside for road repairs. Prime Minister, the roads in Jamaica across the length and breadth of Jamaica, as a result of the weather events that we've had in a deplorable condition, not because of any other thing than the battering that we've been getting from recent weather conditions, and we have seen the damage Voss stated in his appeal. It cannot be that this is a situation like this that we can continue to implement some of the form of emergency procurement. I can say without fear of hesitation, there is not one Jamaican, including my counterparts in Parliament, who have not agreed at this time it is not on our side because of the condition of the road, he added. Voss cautioned that we stand to lose more in damage similar to what had happened in West Rural St. Andrew and East Rural St. Andrew and in Portland, where major breakaways occurred during the passage of Tropical Storm Raphael on November 5th. Voss argued that the delay in responding means it's not likely to be economically feasible because basically we're going to be in a worse situation by the time we finish spending the money on the repairs of the road and drain cleaning. Said the West Portland MP, as a royal representative, I am making an appeal to say that what can be done without breaking any procurement guidelines, but there must be a way for emergency procurement that can be shorter in terms of the length of time. If not, with the weather events that we have had and we're about to have in the weather events to come, we're going to be in a perilous situation, Prime Minister. I'm making an appeal to someone who represents a rural constituency that has been affected. While Holness did not respond directly to Voss, he urged Jamaicans to exercise a little more patience as the administration takes steps to address the problem. He also pointed out that the procurement process must be followed. Speaking of the spark, Holness said there are many steps that have to be taken for such a program to be effected. There are many agencies that have to coordinate. We have to follow all the regulations. We haven't skipped any or cut any. We try to follow all the rules. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.